Hey everyone, it's JSV or Joey, whatever you want to call me. It's a little early, but I couldn't sleep that well. Today is going to be a sort of more serious video than the other two I posted about the withdrawal and the aftermath of mental illness. Today I'm just going to be talking about the withdrawal and the hell I'm going through, and what I'm sure a lot of you are going through, have gone through it. I do want to mention, real quick, I am going to read some notes. I do want to recommend watching all the videos. There's only like 5 from this awesome channel called Recovering from Psychiatry. And I just wanted to say that those videos had me and my boyfriend, like, I really had to hear those words, and I want to repeat them, and I'm going to link the channel below in the description so that you can go ahead and click there. And, you know, if watching me wasn't all you needed, or watching that video and you wanted to watch mine again, awesome. Anyway, so I have taken SSRIs or benzos. SSRIs, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't really know what they mean, but they're antidepressants, and they are in the form of like Lexapro, Wellbutrin, Zoloft, Paxil. All those I've actually had in my life. And I was on Wellbutrin, Lamictal, Clonazepam, which is a benzo, like the Xanax and the Ativan. I was on that too, and Xanax. But my longest thing taking was the Klonopin, the Wellbutrin, the Adderall, which I don't think is an SSRI or a benzo. I think it may be like a amphetamine. And that was what I'm getting off of. And I actually had an illegal, I was given from a free clinic in Miami, a illegal dose of it. I don't really know the reasonings. I think I was told it was okay, and that there was nothing else they felt safe giving me, so they just wanted to up it as much as possible. I'm not lying to you, and I'm not like BSing. That is legit what happened. Okay, so I took those, and for moving here 3 years ago, I had to wean off it very slowly from from doctors, and it was 2.5 years. And now I'm in the other half that goes into the 3 years, but I've been almost 6 months off the pills, and it is agony. Like, like that song from Into the Woods, agony, misery. It's like that. It is like that running through my veins. And there are a few things that I wanted to touch on that the video Recovering from Psychiatry said, and it was able to put some words into what I was trying to articulate in my first videos but couldn't. So, sitting in your own skin, that what I was trying to say yesterday by saying I want to like jump out of my skin, and like, how is that possible? Like, I'm inside. Like, that's literally what it feels like. I can't sit down, I can't lay down, even walking around is uncomfortable. It's just, I'm always uncomfortable. It's just a constant uncomfortable. And a constant, like, you don't even have to be excited. It's just like this, a tugging in you. Like a tugging, like this pull. Again, it goes to that bottomless pit, the pit that never ends, as I sang yesterday, like the Lamb Chop song. It really feels that way. It's like like pulling on your strings, man. And, stringing a sentence together. I've had problems this whole video. I am only 6 months in. The lady, Miss Delano, who does Recovering from Psychiatry, she has been off them for 4 years. That's amazing. And she took them for like her description says like after 14 years. So she must have taken them for almost the same amount as me, like 10 years. that's so inspiring. It's a breath of fresh air. And I only found this video after I put my video up, so I was like, awesome, what did I do? Because I searched everything to find some videos to help me, and I couldn't find much. But I'm thankful I found that. Excuse me. So, another thing I wanted to touch on, she said something along the lines of, while we're feeling this debilitatingness, while we're feeling like this agony, misery, let's try to think of this as the sign that we are healing. And obviously it's true, but when I'm feeling like this right now, I don't want to hear something positive. Like, sometimes, like, even now, like, I'm still struggling with the rage factor that is definitely not me. Rage and Hulk-like anger that has nothing to do with Joey. Like, nothing to do with me. I am a kind-hearted, gentle soul. Always have been. It wasn't until after I started taking pills, period, that this foreign bile kept coming up with, like, I don't know, I'll say that it gave me some sassier lines, but it was very inauthentic and very frightening. But to focus on, like, yes, this sucks. This absolutely is terrible. But it is a sign that we are getting better. So, right now in this stage, I'm not feeling positivity. I don't want to hear... I still have to take it easy when I read that stuff, because I'll just immediately dismiss it. Which, again, is not right and not appropriate, but because of, like, the anger and the bitterness and we'll get into that later. Let me write that down so I don't, like, it's totally sidetracked with stringing things together. It's still difficult articulating what I'm trying to say. I think I'm doing better now that I'm doing videos, but I was very nervous yesterday doing those videos, but they got a really, like, pretty nice response, and I was like, okay. So, one thing she did touch on, Miss Delano, was isolation. And I'm talking to you from my study, and I don't leave the house. I don't leave our new beautiful condo. I like to stay in my beautiful, decorated new place. I never had a new home before. I just want to stay here because dealing with people, even on social media, I get frightened, like scared. Like, that I feel like when I meet people, it's like a constant banter in here. I'm serious. It's as if no matter who you are, I think you don't like me. I don't think you don't believe me. I think you think I'm nuts. Or I'll be in a store and I think everyone's looking at me. No, I've never been a selfish person. No one's looking at you. Everyone has their own stuff to deal with. No one's looking at you. So who am I to think, like, oh, I keep thinking all these bad things, and like everyone's gonna be looking at me like, oh, what's wrong with that kid? What's he thinking? Not honestly, not many people do that. Me, I realize that there are things I do now in groups if I have to go to one of my boyfriend's family gatherings, because I'm not used to that in my family. I come from a very broken family. We didn't have a lot of get-togethers, so it's so uncomfortable to go see happy, bright, and affluent, like, you know, happiness, like just real happiness. Like, I'm not talking like snobbery, I'm talking happiness, like a happy family. It is like hands around my throat when I'm around that. It just reminds me every day what I don't have, what I didn't have, what I don't have in my family. My parents and my sister and my dogs and our cat are my rock. Like, they're all I had, and they're all we have together, because we all, our families are not very nice people. And we just stay away from them and we deal with our own stuff. But that's another story. I'm just saying, with this withdrawal, it's so uncomfortable to be anywhere, to be around people, and to express it. I cannot stress enough with, and I go back and forth with my pacing and my thinking out loud. That's really bad. That's when I'm in my anger and my rage, and I just have to get it out, but I can't help it. I have to get it out. I can't have it in me anymore. I'm just like, oh my god, my boyfriend's parents hate me because they are not from a family with mental illness. They do not have this. They do not understand it at all. And they've gotten me all the help I've needed. They are supportive. They've even had like talks or meetings with me where like they didn't do that. Like they don't do that, but they did that for me. And that was awesome. But being around that is so suffocating. It's so foreign to be around happiness, and then to be expected. I guess not expected. I think one of the things is I feel like his family, and I'm not saying this is true, but this is just me saying like, why isn't he happy yet? These 3 years have been great for him compared to everything he's ever known. And I'm like, I have 27 years of horribleness that are not coming out of me yet. So you need to wait. And like I get angry about it, and it's not like anyone is saying that to me at all. No one is saying that to me. But I'm saying like it's hard to choose or to be happy. I don't know what it is yet. And one of the best things that Miss Delano says in recovering from psychiatry is she had no idea who she was, and that was her focal point of going through the withdrawal and helping her realize that she was healing, is finding out who she was. And like I said to you in a couple of videos, I don't know who I am anymore. I used to be a very awesome person, I believe, even in middle school and high school, where I was utterly destroyed by bullying. And I mean, I could have had such better relationships with my real friends, but I didn't, because I lied and lied and lied and lied to pretend that nothing was happening, and I would never admit what was really going on. I regret those times. I'm going to talk about that later on, but I'm just saying all of these things are coming up. And with withdrawal, it's like every bad moment in my life just replays, especially with the theater, because it was all I ever thought I would be in. And now I'm so far from it. And it's been so long since it was a happy, successful endeavor. I just don't feel connected to it, so it's like I don't feel connected to myself. Like everything about me I've lost. And the loss and the bitterness is the last part of this video. I'm very ashamed at, when I started taking these pills, they were very strong because they kept saying like I was bipolar. And I knew they were wrong, but like who the hell am I going to say that? Like, it's not I don't know if other people have, but you don't just tell a doctor they're wrong. Like, I couldn't do that. And again, like, I'll use an example of the theater company I worked for in Philadelphia. The whole time, like, my first job, I started noticing that, like, I was acting weird. And I was being sometimes, like, I was unfortunate to be the youngest in a cast of everyone that was way older than me, and they really couldn't stand me. And I guess I understand that. But I had a stage manager who's very cruel, very nasty, and they were all older than me, and they all were just like, oh, this kid's just being annoying. And I wish I could have said, no, I'm suffering. And there's something wrong with me telling them like I did like something but I didn't, and just endure it, and like then get into like a little spat because I'm sitting there enduring everything they wanted to do, but I didn't want to say that I didn't like it because I didn't want them to not like me. And then when you try to be something you're not, it always backfires. Yes, that's the word. Backfires. Again, I'm going to say I apologize that, oh my god, if we could count how many times I say like in a sentence, it must be so embarrassing for me, but that's me right now. Stringing the sentences together, being focused. This withdrawal is I say it's killing me, but like the pills have killed me. It's killed me inside. Like I'm not the same person anymore. I don't know who I am. I remember who I am, but then it's shattered by the memories of losing all my contacts and um, being separated from the theater world and like how I ended things with the skating world. Like it was just so weird and just so uncomfortable. And I don't like this phrase, this word, unfair. It was unfair, and we live in an unfair and an uncaring world. And for someone like me who's very emotional, who's extremely empathic, it's not cool that people just don't give a crap. They don't care. And unfortunately, I picked a business where they can be very cutthroat. Um, I'll finish this off. You know, we talked about like it's bitter, and I'm really angry about losing everything. Like I lost everything, and I'm and now at 30, like I literally tell my boyfriend sometimes, like I feel like my life is over. You're 30, dude. Calm yourself. But that's what it feels like. It feels like it's over. There's no going back. It's just done. And I hope one day that the people from those theater companies see this and go, oh, that's what was wrong with him. You know, the theater company in Philadelphia, a touring children's theater company, I don't want to cry, but it meant everything to me. And I could never understand why no one really liked me. It made no sense whatsoever. Because on stage, every little kid wanted me, wanted to talk to me. They all liked how I performed, but people would just say I was weird, or I was rude, or I was being fake. And I was like, I was not being fake. I was psychotic. I had psychiatric meds inside me, making me act different ways, making me think wrongly and make bad decisions when you're not in the right mind. And that's what I feel it did to me. It took Joey out of the equation, and, you know, the pills took over. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but I think it is, because I just know that those feelings or anything that, like, made me act up like that was very inauthentic and not my true self. And it's like mind-boggling to me. Isolation. It is not good to isolate. But right now I'm at a place where I actually need this time to get all this out of my head. For me, like, I'm a big talker, and I don't like talking to people right now because I don't feel they believe me or are very empathic enough to understand. I only tell very few people. One of my best friends today that I would never have believed to be able to tell her this. Never would have said, Sheena, girl, this is what's happening. Because I'm so embarrassed of her because she's so talented, so beyond me in every way. But she's older and she has been through this. And she shared my video on Facebook and said, like, I can't believe this is exactly what I'm going through. I would have never believed to tell her that. I would have never have been brave enough to tell her this. And she's gone through it. I literally have felt all this time that she hated me and that, like, I was too much of a loser to talk to her. And what do you know? That was not me thinking. That's whatever this withdrawal is. So I'm going to end this now because you guys get it. I think you get it. I think you understand what I was trying to say, and I am just rambling now. Please check out Recovering from Psychiatry. The Miss Delano is sensational. I think her videos, though they're like 4 years old, I think now they're gonna just blow up. My boyfriend Stranger Things cat mug. I think a lot of us are dealing with this, and I'm happy that I got off these pills. my beacon, my focal point is to find Joey again. Find the real me. It's gonna be a while. And that stinks, but I think it's for the better that I'm using this as an outlet instead of keeping it in my head and it destroying me and getting worse thoughts or, worse behaviors. Okay, so this was the agony and misery of Withdrawal. You should know Into the Woods if you're watching this. Well, maybe you don't. Now you do. Okay, please give this a thumbs up and comment below. Be kind to one another and to me when you do it. But I'm not afraid if you get into detail with your story, because I'm going to give you a comment that is personal and I am going to get back to you. So please don't not comment, because I am curious and I do want to know, and it does help me. It really does. And if there are other videos that you think have helped you, let me know. Okay. Thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Blessed be.